Hello and welcome back to the AI Interconnect podcast, where we sit down with the builders, the innovator, and people shaping what's next in prop tech, AI, and beyond. And today, I'm joined by Abdullah Tariq, co-founder of Mapalytics, a company doing powerful work in the world of geospatial data, urban intelligence, and how to use maps to understand the space we live and work in. Abdullah, welcome to the show. It's great to have you
Thank
here.
you so much for the invitation and the opportunity.
Fantastic, fantastic. We're very happy to have you here. And let's start with a personal story, your personal
Yes.
story. How did you get into this space originally? Was it tech first, city first, data first? What brought you to the idea of building Mapalytics?
Yeah. Thank you for asking that. My journey started when I was in just studying in electrical engineering, and I had a long passion for making drones or RC models, basically. So that got me into making drones. And while I was doing my bachelor's, I did make with my team, we made a solar powered drone which can be charged and use the power to fly using solar. So we got into a national competition backed by the American Institutes of Aeronautics and Avionics, and we won the first prize in the solar category that year. So that really got me into making uh, drones, and started researching if we can get into manufacturing our own drone line. So in the start, there were a few challenges, and we identified those challenges that manufacturing and hardware are more challenging than software part. We pivoted uh, from that idea, the initial idea of making drones, to drone-based applications. So, if you
Oh,
remember, in 2016, there was a war going on in Syria, and many historical sites dating more than 2000 years were destroyed, which were UNESCO heritage sites. They were declared by the UNESCO that they are endangered and they are very precious heritage sites. They were destroyed. That got me into thinking that how we can leverage computer vision and drones to make digital doubles or digital twins of those historical sites so that they can be digitally preserved forever, and that data is accurate, just not in only in terms of architecture, archaeology, even in the terms of the visual detail of that model. So during this time, I got into masters and I did my research in drone-based applications for heritage and land mapping. That pivoted and that got me into was like a stepping stone towards what we are doing right now. So we did we started researching into drone-based applications into the land mapping and structure mapping. Uh, and that got us into uh, you know making our own startup and doing digital doubles of large or small scale projects and a larger use case which we found out after entering into the market was the construction and the real estate sector. So that gave us a huge boost in terms of the market feedback that we got from developers, because The construction industry is still working in the Walkman era. Uh, they are not very uh, up to date in terms of the technology as other sectors are, like banking is now fintech, education is now edtech. So construction technology was still using old methods, rule of thumbs to doing estimations and real insights of the on ground insights about and accuracy about the on ground data was still lacking behind. And we, using our technology, we were able to bridge that gap, and uh, and we developed hand in hand with our clients who were construction companies, developers, real estate owners, urban planners, architects. So we developed our technology, working with them day and night to helping them solve their daily, issues, technological requirements, and how we can plug that technology into their systems very, um, you know, smoothly.
That's wonderful. That's you. You started. You are based in Islamabad, in Pakistan, right now,
Yes, that's
and difficult regions to work with, definitely, I think. And
yes,
your
it's
first
challenging.
project, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, your first project was on a war zone in Syria, as you mentioned.
No, that
But all
actually
your
inspired us. We didn't
yeah, inspired.
actually get to work there in the war zone, but we did actually end up working with UNESCO in developing a digital double of a very old, one of the oldest necropolis in the world, which is situated in Pakistan. It's called the Makli Heritage Site. The sites, these are tombs of old emperors which
Wow.
were ruling in these areas more than 500 years ago. And many of those tombs are now, uh, in danger of getting uh, damaged due to the climate changes happening all around the globe, especially in Pakistan as well. And to study that and the impact of climate change there, and there was one tomb which is just sitting at the cliff of a small hill, and due to the soil erosion and high speed winds, there are cracks building in that building, and using cracks sensors, we could actually see that the building was like breathing day in and day out. So when there was hot, the cracks were different, and during the night time they were acting differently. So there was a little,
Oh, wow.
very minute, but shifts in the cracks during the day and night. So uh, we were part of that project in making digital double of those sites in the heritage site called Makli.
That's impressive. Unbelievable. That's very,
Yeah.
very interesting. And give us give us the snapshot. What's the core mission of Mapalytics today, and who do you serve mainly?
Yeah. So uh, the core mission or the vision of Mapalytics is to revolutionize how we do construction and infrastructure development by bringing our technological solution every step of the way during the project, from planning, managing, monitoring, and selling the project. So while working with constructors, urban planners, real estate companies uh, in Pakistan and abroad, we uh, identified a very huge lack of unification of data. Everything is in in the large infrastructure and development projects is very fragmented, and people are working in their own areas, and are relying on tools which are not very interconnectable. Like in the planning phase, and the companies, how they operate is they are more person dependent rather than the system dependent. So if there is a person working in the company, he knows how where the for instance there is a housing project and you have data about the underlying sewerage lines, underlying electrical lines, and after 10 to 15 years, when there is more excavation, more working, more renovation going on, suddenly you encounter issues like clashes with the existing infrastructure because there was no data available for those areas when they were implemented. So, bringing real ground insights and with the accuracies and with the compatibility of uh, the software and the tools which the constructors, planners use in daily life, we were able to help them, save a lot of money, avoid future clashes, um, do better cost estimation rather than just using rule of thumb. Because with drone-based applications or computer visioning, we can provide you a millimeter to centimeter scale survey grade accurate maps about the sites which they are working on. And when the data on ground is accurate, then all the estimations and the uh, the quantity of material and the bill of materials and everything is then accurate, uh, and the feasibility studies of those areas are accurate, so the budgets are more accurate. uh, there was one study which said that uh, more than $400 billion are lost annually due to construction delays and inaccuracies. So we are trying to bridge that gap between the on-ground reality and the accuracy and the software side of the urban planning. So if the planning phase is done on the on-ground realities and accuracies, then you are much better close to the end product. Usually, construction uh, projects just start with a very, inaccurate feasibility study, and then along the way, there when after the starting the construction, there is some delays due to clashes between the drawing and actual construction, and then there is delays due to budgetary constraints because the initial budget which was proposed is very different than what was actually being implemented. So we at Mapalytics, we are trying to digitize every step of the way for the construction. In the management phase, we provide a holistic solution using GIS and 3D, that all your construction data regarding the sites, your BIM, your models, each and everything, the on-ground data, existing data, and proposed data, they all are combined into a one platform, which can be shared among the teams and the contractors and the subcontractors of the project. And so that if there is any clashes, if there is any discrepancies in the timelines, in the models, they can be addressed beforehand rather than on site. And for the monitoring part, we are providing virtual reality and immersive tours of the site, of the construction site, so that the builders and the construction companies, they don't have to spend hours on the site reviewing the construction progress. Rather, they can use our platform to virtually visit the construction site, see how the progress is going on, how far behind are we, or how far ahead on the schedule are we. And lastly, for the sales part, we were working with some of our clients, and they wanted to uh, you know uh, uh, portray how the construction or the project would look like after the completion. And for that part, what we do is we make high resolution, hyper realistic uh, renderings of the site and how it would look like after the completion, which would help clients, sell their projects better uh, by showcasing how the project would look like after the completion. So that's what we do. Uh,
That's great, and thank you for all these details. Then basically, um, you're working directly with city planners, developers, enterprises, anything
yes.
of all the above, or any specific private industries, or or directly with government.
Yeah, we've worked directly and indirectly with municipalities for mapping of their large scale projects. It could be industrial complex. It could be a multi-purpose, multi-story building complex, or it could be a large-scale housing project expanding over hundreds and thousands of million square meters. Um, in Mapalytics, we have mapped up till now more than 3 billion square meters of land, working with various private sector and government sector organizations.
Unbelievable. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Then you are you're in a really interesting position at the intersection of prop tech, geospatial
Analytics, yeah.
intelligence,
Yes.
analytics, urban transformation. Um, from your perspective, what trends are shaping the future of cities and data right now?
Yeah, so uh, previously, which 10 years ago, we would say data is king, but now it is more like AI and machine learning is taking its place in the priority. So, so how the technology is progressing in our point of view is that the GIS, the 3D, geospatial mapping, everything, uh, you know, in terms of technology is readily available. And I think where there is, work to be done is in the using AI to help constructors or developers or the urban planners or architects and municipalities or large development real estate companies to manage their projects not in only in terms of you know from it's like covering the whole the PropTech domain is covering the whole uh, uh, parts of the project from land ownership records, land procurement. It can help and digitize every step of the way, and that's what we are promoting as well to our clients, that if you like our higher services of our SaaS platform or our companies like us from day one, you are much better off because each and everything about your project is being digitized from day one, from land procurement to land selling to the property ownership records to digital mapping to your planning and master plans and managing different versions of master plans, because the master plans when the project starts they evolve with the project, so keeping in terms of that. And on top of that, what we are also working in R&D is that using large language models and AI to bridge all these different data sources together into one platform in which you can find, for example, if you are looking for some kind of analytics, uh, let's say the number of tree count in your area. So you can just uh, write down a prompt and it will give you the information. And if you want in a CAD output or if in a shapefile output, it can give you that as well. So that's kind of thing I think we are uh, 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 which would reshape how we do construction and 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 infrastructure works.
That's very interesting. Then
Yeah.
you're definitely using AI in mapping and analytics. Um,
Yes.
and do you see also more demand for predictive models, or is it still very reactive for the time being, in your opinion?
Uh, yes, there is a demand for predictive models in which we can detect, clashes between different types of design works because for a large scale project, there are many designers working um as multiple contractors into one project. And if we can provide a platform which, can identify those areas of clashes, uh, like for example, we did a project in Europe for a company which were to uh, identify or to make a 4D time lapse of their site progress. So how it was like a simulation of how everything would come into place in the building. So starting with the foundation, then the structure, the pillars. So they were able to and doing all that in timelines as per you know time as per the schedule proposed by the the developer. So they were able to identify a few areas where in the timelines few tasks were happening before the base was actually there. So something like this for simulation, I think there is a huge market demand for predictive analysis and simulation to identify problems in the design and the timelines before implementing them.
Very, very right, and very, very interesting. I also wanted to talk about the challenges, and because behind every breakthrough company are some real friction points, and obviously, uh, what are some of the hardest parts of running and growing Mapalytics right now?
Yeah, if you can, just uh, say the last part again. I didn't the la the last question.
Yeah, the hardest. What are some of the hardest parts of running and growing Mapalytic right now as a challenge?
Yeah, so I think the challenges are part of the game, and there should be challenges to keep us at our toes so that we are as a startup we are always looking for more technology to grow in terms of technology, in terms of revenue, to be ahead of the market uh, in terms of the demand and looking how the trends are going in the market and how relevant are we with the trends. So in that part, I think the challenging part for us is right now is growing into more markets. Uh, we started off from Pakistan. We are now entering into we are already entered into the MENA region. We are trying to expand more into the Saudi market because it is a very huge market in terms of the construction and the real estate is very happening there. And we are also targeting to expand into much more mature markets such as the US market and Europe. So for that, we are exploring different ways. How can we leverage our technology and deep understanding of how construction and development is done to help uh, urban planners around the globe using much more uh, easy to use and very adaptable SaaS-based platform, which uses AI analytics to basically bridge all the gaps which are there. Because in as we said, as we discussed earlier, geospatial AI is a very huge field, and there are so many tools available in the market for each of the tasks that can be done on your data for calculating or taking out different types of analytics. So what we think is that if we are able to make a holistic solution where people can uh, if we can cater for urban planners needs, the constructor needs, the real estate owners needs, and the architects needs all in one place, that would be something which would be huge. And it is a huge challenge because we have to bring so many things into one platform and apply AI. So I think that is one challenge we are facing right now, and we are working towards that.
That's very interesting. And what about challenges about sales cycles, um, or maybe market education, um, or fundraising?
Yes.
Um,
The fundraising part is another challenge, and we are also looking to raise funds for expanding into the new geographies we are targeting, and for that reason we are working on our you know the pitch and because as of now we haven't raised my startup Mapalytics hasn't raised any funds yet, and for that reason we are more focused towards the funding, uh, you know looking for funding opportunities to expand into new geographies, because it's very hard and difficult to do it on your own, because when you are expanding into new markets, uh, there are uh, challenges and high costs and finances associated with that. So to cater that, we are also challenging facing challenge towards raising funds.
yeah, yeah, it's always a challenge, obviously, but I mean, you have a wonderful product, and so so futuristic and alive and helping construction and developers and building our cities basically. What's going again? This last question on challenges. What keeps you up at night when you think about your next phase?
Yeah, so our next phase, as I said, was building a very huge and holistic solution. Uh, you know, uh, Building the next platform uh, which can lead the market and capture most of the market attention, and the market itself uh, is that holistic solution which provides multiple things under one roof. And that's how we have understood by working with various multinational and national level projects and urban developers, that how we can solve their market daily problems, their engineering problems, and uh, you know uh, and show how our product can solve and benefit them in terms of uh, you know more sales. So one pitch we do to our clients is that by digitizing their sites, we provide them data on their screens so that we are saving them time spent on the construction side or the working side, and then that time can be used more for making much more better business decisions, and which can in turn, benefit them in terms of sales. So uh,
That's right.
ma- there is also a need for market education, as I said, because the construction domain is still working in a very uh, you know uh, Walkman era. Still now they're using old methods, and we need to uh, empower them and you know uh, show them how using technology and construction tech and AEC tech can help them, save millions and millions of dollars per project, or save 30, 50, 40% of their time and effort, and optimize their all uh, you know uh, parts of their projects, from planning to managing and monitoring the project.
Yeah, that's right. And one lot challenges could be scaling the tech, the technology. Um,
So
is it how do you manage all this?
yeah, that is a very interesting question, because a part of what we do is comes from data acquisition part. So for data acquisition, there has to be somebody on ground taking the data. It could be using scanners or drones or highly sophisticated digital cameras. So for that part, I think we are trying to what we currently are doing is that we are doing it majorly ourselves. And for the future, what we think it is would be like a franchise model, in which we can, have people do that part for us, and the rest of the part can be, processed using our cloud-based servers, and uh, uh, the platform which we are building. So the platform part and the cloud-based service is very scalable. The data acquisition part uh, needs to be, more optimized.
Okay, yeah, um, on under franchise level or as you say, or partnerships
Yes,
with okay,
with data
yeah,
acquisition companies.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this I love it. Um, then let's move on.
Yes.
Looking ahead to 2025 or beyond, what's your vision for Mapalytics? Where do you see the biggest opportunities, or how are you planning to evolve the platform?
Yes. So what we have learned in the past few years after the COVID era, is that there is much more adaptability towards the prop tech and the AEC tech domain. There are many, uh, international and national level events happening all around the globe, uh, that is actually testing out the market and increasing more awareness towards prop tech and AEC tech companies. And uh, for that reason, I think we the biggest the biggest goal for 2025 would be to be able to expand into new geographies, test out, as I said, the franchise model, or partnership model with data acquisition companies, so that we can streamline the data acquisition part, and work more on the platform and AI part, which is more relevant to the day-to-day applications of our clients.
Okay, then a forward-looking strategy is expanding the platform. Then it's the product.
Yes,
You talk about new markets.
yes,
Um, you're already in Saudi Arabia, and
yeah,
which other market you're starting in the US? You said, or
yes,
you?
yes.
Okay,
We are entering into the US and testing out the US market uh, right now to expand our few operations there as well.
with private companies or municipalities at that point, or
Uh, yes, everybody basically,
this?
wherever our product line or services, fit in,
Wow,
we are trying to, uh, you know, um, uh, uh, increase awareness as well as, trying to reach out to as many companies which we could potentially partner with for expansion and uh, or companies who can be our uh, potential clients in the near future or far future, and also venture capitals who can help us grow into uh, you know the new markets.
that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
uh, and finally, the uh, another strategy would be the your team, your people. Are you growing? Are you hiring or expanding with another office or staying in Islamabad?
Uh, yes, uh, we would like to keep the Islamabad office, as the headquarter and the backend
Of course.
office, and open multiple offices, let's say in Riyadh, in Austin, Texas, in the USA, for managing the sales and the data acquisition part of the processes and the services we offer.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, that's I mean, I love all this. This is very interesting. We could talk forever. And before we wrap up, a few quick question for fun, and no
Yes.
wrong answer here. What's one tool or app you couldn't run the company without?
Uh, I think uh, day to day, the most used app is WhatsApp for coordination and everything. It beats any other messaging app to it. Everything, it's very, uh, you know, uh, used most of the time. So I think that would be one app, which is
Communication, then.
communication.
Communication between do you have team members on the field as well, or it's
Yes,
communication? Okay, then between your office headquarter and the field, then,
yes.
for example. Very good. What's a book, a podcast, or thinker that's really influenced your approach?
I think the
Maybe.
book, I would say, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. It's a very good read.
Yeah.
It's an old book. Now it's very old.
No,
I
no.
I read it many years ago. So still, but I
Yeah,
think
I
but
mean,
it's still very relevant.
yeah, I mean a whole book, but still available. I read it for the 10th time maybe lately also, and always of actuality of
Yes.
our time. Um, if you if you could wave a magic wand and solve one problem in the prop tech space instantly, what would it be? Yeah?
Yeah, very interesting question. Uh, One thing which comes to mind is um, in PropTech space. So One thing I think is
Any
that
spaces?
yeah. So one platform which covers all to build a huge community of all the major players in the prop tech domain and bring them into one platform. So that would be something that I would be looking to make.
Like okay, like a major dashboard or something like this.
Yeah, a major dashboard with everybody in the community, in there.
That makes sense. That's I like it. Um, okay, perfect, perfect. I really appreciate, and Abdullah, thank you so much for sharing your story, the work you're doing at Mapalytic. It's I love the idea. The design must be the technology, the AI. It's full of it's our future basically, and you brought a ton of insight today. And I know people in the prop tech and AI ecosystem are going to take a lot from this. And where can listener go and learn more about you and follow your journey?
Yes, so thank you so much for the invitation and the podcast. Uh, uh, I, people can visit our site, which is www.mathematics.org, and uh, we are very active on LinkedIn and Instagram. So if you can search there, and uh, you can find us there as well.
On Instagram also. Very
Yes,
cool. Perfect. I'll be looking at this, and for all our listeners, definitely very insightful, and I'm sure they will be curious and fetch for your information. And thank you again, Abdullah. This was a real pleasure. I'm excited to keep following you to build uh, your next project or your follow-up project, and I'll be following you. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for our
thank you so much.
audience. And we talk very soon, Abdullah.
Thank you.